Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This is Enlightened World Network, and we are bringing you a day of transformation, a full day of live streaming with different presenters. And so far, this day has been an amazing day, and we have lots left, including our next presenter, Darryl D'Souza. And Darryl is going to bring us some Dharmic thoughts and meditation. Darryl, welcome to Enlightened World Network.
Hello, everyone. Namaste. And thank you, Terry, so much for having me on right now. I am speaking from Goa, that's in India right now. And I'm here to share a couple of things with you first. So the first 15 minutes of my session is going to be a little bit of sharing, taking you to a couple of deeper insights through what we are experiencing in life. And as we take in all of that information, then the next half, I would like to lead you into a deeper introspective meditation. So I would like to share first about Dharma, which is not the same as Dharam. See, these are ancient Sanskrit words. Dharam means religion, probably a set of teachings, a body of work, rules and regulations, and sometimes even commandments. I find it difficult to understand sometimes. Why do human beings need to be commanded? It seems that they are not able to inculcate certain psychologies or certain energies or ways of living of love and compassion and sharing and caring. And when they go off the path, then they have to be told what to do. And so we have so many dharams, which are religions on the planet, trying to guide people and bring them back on the path. And of course, everybody is trying to do the best they can. But it is also an indicator that how often you need to remind a person to get back on the path of being a good human being. It's an indicator of how you have failed to actually change their energy and their life from within. And that's why they deviate all the time. So, what is Dharma? Dharma means duty. And of course, duty comes, it's a relationship, you see. Duty comes after you have been given something. Then in response, you have a duty to perform. Duty just doesn't come from thin air. So, what is the duty of, for example, human beings or other living beings on this planet? Whether they are animals, birds, reptiles, even the trees or the soil, all of these life forms, they receive and they have something to give in return. So right from the time when we were born, when we came out of our mother's womb, we received air to breathe that filled up our lungs and gave us life. After some time, we received a mother's milk which is also a form of the natural elements. Many people don't understand this, but this was taught in ancient India. And to make it more real for you, I'll give you an example that milk also contains all the five elements. It's got the dominant or predominant element is water, then is earth, then fire, air, and space. But it's easy to understand that water is the first element. Uh, but then the next earth, if you compare it with water, you'll find that milk is heavier. So it's more dense. Fire is an element that I teach in my book on health. With too much of milk and milk products, it creates acidity in the body, and from there you can make out the fire element. Air and space is a little more difficult to explain. But after breast milk, when we get teeth, we eat something like an apple or a chiku or a nut. If you take a nut, then you know that the highest percentage is the earth element because it's hard. Then the next is water element because it's got oil in it. You squeeze out the nut, you'll get oil. And then again, fire, air, and space. And again, that nuts have got, it can be heaty. So right from the time we were born, we were given the five elements of nature that came from Mother Earth. And so all the other species on this planet also receive the five elements of Earth. When they are born, they receive the air, and then they're mammals, they receive breast milk, or they receive their food. And most of the other species on this planet have lived by Dharma. That means their only duty was whatever they received, they had to take it within themselves in its purity. And after they did their work or they were done with their lives, they were supposed to return the elements back to nature. So you see trees growing up using the oxygen, producing carbon dioxide, taking the soil, and doing all of the things they do in their life, and producing fruit, which is also part of the five elements. And once a tree dies and the leaf falls to the ground and the bark falls to the ground, everything is back into the five elements. Naturally, when animals do that, they all live. They rise from the five elements. They have life. They do whatever they want in life. They produce children, and by the time they are old, they go back to the soil. And they leave the earth pure and clean. And whatever Mother Earth gave them in its purity, they give it back to Mother Earth. But human beings are the only species on this planet who have broken Dharma. We have taken the air and we've put it into engines and machines, and we've taken out carbon monoxide and other pollutants back into the environment. We have taken things like natural oil and processed it and extracted it into plastics, and we've created plastics on the planet that will not biodegrade for the next 2,000, 3,000 years. In the process of living our lives and even eating our food, we have created things on this planet that are not natural and are altered forms of the natural five elements. So these we have put in our foods, in our packaged food products, for example. And we have done that because we wanted to defy certain laws of nature with regards to our food. So you see, for example, a mango, it comes in a mango season and it's got a natural shelf life. And after time, it ripens on the tree, falls to the ground, and then it decomposes in about 5 to 7 days. But human beings are not satisfied with how God has designed uh, food for us, as He has designed, as God has designed, food for all other species on the planet. None of them make food. They just find their food and they eat their food. So they allow the natural elements to flow through their bodies. But we take the mango and we put it in a metal airtight container because we want to defy the God-made laws of decomposition. And we want to keep the mango lasting in that tin for a year, 2 years, 3 years. And in that process, we put a lot of chemicals and preservatives and stabilizers and actually make units of atomic warfare. And that we put inside our bodies when we take the mango tin home, or whether it's a chocolate milk Tetra Pak. When we open it up, we put in that milk along. Sometimes it's got artificial coloring agents, tasting agents, smelling agents, preservatives, very harsh man-made chemicals. They are so powerful that they defy the God-made natural laws of decomposition. And then also the stabilizer. So we put this unit of atomic warfare into our bodies. And that's when all the oxidation, inflammation, scarring, free radical damage starts happening right from our mouth to our stomachs and intestine and colon, and it bring a lot of sickness into the human body. And it's getting worse with the rise of cancer in the world. So if that is not enough, how we destroy the human body and pass a bad, dysfunctional and broken gene set to our next generation. The places from where we get these packagings, a Tetra Pak comes from cutting down trees in nature. Plastic lining inside it comes from petroleum products, that is digging holes in the earth. If it's in glass bottles, it's excavating sand from the seashores or riverbeds. If it's something that's and all of them have got nice wrappers around them with labels, and you have companies who are producing these packagings, blowing out pollutants in the air and synthetic dyes into our water streams and polluting the planet as well. So all of this destruction to the self, depletion of resources on the planet are happening because we just don't want to follow natural law. We don't want to follow Dharma. We do not want to follow, just get foods as they are in their natural form, take them home and process them in the least possible way, keep them natural, and let 5 elements actually come into our body and let them go out in a natural way. So with all of these preservatives in our foods, we get residuals, those inorganic substances, they get stuck in our body as gallbladder stones and kidney stones and toxicity within our fat cells of the body. Now, this is something that none of the other species on the planet do. And even our indigenous tribes across the world, whether it is the Hopi or the Mayan or even the Aborigines or the Red Indians, they all live by the law of nature, which is of course the law of God, because all of God comes from nature, and everything that's flowing all around us are little particles of God in all different forms. So the modern civilizations are the only ones who have broken Dharma. And for that, we are paying now very dearly with a lot of sickness, a lot of catastrophes, global warming, from eating things that are not our natural food, like too much of meat, which is also causing global warming and so much sickness across the planet. And now everybody is so clear about the viral flus and coronaviruses around the world and how they're coming from the animal kingdom. This is all a reply from Mother Earth and from Father Sky, because we've broken their natural laws. I have been, like other light workers, healers, therapists, shamans, star seeds, been meditating and sending healing to the earth since the last 10 years, since 2010, before the time of the supposed apocalypse in December 2012. And we used to do wonderful meditations of sending out the intention and visualization of birthing a clean, green, beautiful, compassionate, healing planet. But you can see where we have come from 2010 to 2020, and the world is almost like a hell right now compared to what it was then. So we have missed some very important things. And it's time now to look at our own actions every day, right from the time we get up in the morning to the time we go to sleep at night. Because many of us have broken natural law and Dharma. So now I would like to go into that part of a meditative phase where I would like you to close your eyes and be with your breath and notice the heaviness that you feel inside in the space of your heart. As you visualize yourself and your past days of what you were doing right from the morning till the night. And all of those times where you have partaken of packaged, processed foods, chemicals all over your body for beauty, where you have also used toxins in the soil. This is especially for people who are growing food. Or how many kilometers of unnecessary driving around that you did that put so much of pollution in the air. Yes, we are not to blame ourselves for all of this, because we only come into setups that have been made for us, and we just go with the flow of what is, without stopping and introspecting about what we received from Mother Earth and what we give back to her every day of our lives. And as you remain with your visualization of what you have been doing in your life to co-create the days that we are seeing now, I want you to open your heart and receive all the realities that come to it. And as you feel heavy, as you receive all the realities of the world that you don't like and which just don't go down your throat easily, open your heart bigger and bigger to receive all of it. And let your breath go deep and slow and begin to burn the sacred flame of transmutation in your heart. It is the flame that receives everything and burns up everything only to convert it into energy, a transformative energy that you can use now in the way that you want in the world to correct your thoughts, your words, and your deeds, to refine them and to bring them more in alignment with Dharma. Look around you at the trees, at the animals, at the birds, at the sunshine, at the wind, at the rain, at the indigenous people on the earth. Observe them, see how they live their lives. They are the only true teachers of truth that live upon the planet. Whilst most of modern civilization has forgotten what is real and what are the laws of God that flow through the laws of nature. It is not our fault that we did not understand these things in the space of modern civilization because we were not taught it in schools. Neither our yogis or our gurus taught us about it. Neither did we learn it in our religious halls of receiving all that proceeds from Mother Earth and Father Sky in their purity and returning it back to them in its purity. Be back with your breath and let it go deeper and deeper and slow and slow, and feel the sacred flame of transmutation burning within your soul, deep in your heart, and burning away all the wrong notions or all your past karma of contributing to the problem. For you are beginning to have new vision now and new insight to apply in every day of your life. As this energy burns, do not release it out to the cosmos and be done with it. No. It is the fuel that you will use in your life from now to empower you, to bring light, direction, and the right thoughts, words, and deeds that are good for you, your family, community, and not just your own community, but all communities on the planet. Begin to understand the meaning of Christed consciousness, which means service to self and others, as well as especially those who have given to you, which is Mother Earth and Father Sky. See how each of your thoughts, words, and deeds are in service to self. And while you serve others, introspect. Are your actions serving only a certain set of others? Or are they serving all across this planet? That is the real consciousness that humanity is being invited to step into now. Breathe in and let this awareness settle within your flesh and your bones. Start seeing things in that light. What can I do? What can I say? What can I think? That will serve me, take care of me, as well as take care of others, all others across the planet, not only human beings, but also the animals, also the plants that you live off, their five elements, also the wind, the sun, the air, the water, the soil. They are all things that come into your body at some time. How can you serve yourself if you don't serve them at the same time? Be with this awareness. Be with your breath once again. Deeper, slower, calm. Believe that you have the insight and the intellect to change yourself to align with Dharma, like all other things on this planet. See your unbroken spark and connection through your higher self and through its higher self and its higher self, right to the core of the mind, body, and spirit of God. For in truth, it is just you and the entire cosmos in which all others exist. That is a total of the mind, body, and spirit of God. Be with that connection and with that strength, and know that your awareness is deepening. And as you open your insights and think about it, new wisdom dawns that takes you into the space every single day, further and further, into service to self, all others, and this planet. And it's called Mother Earth, and Father Sky is the stratosphere around Mother Earth that holds all higher energies and the higher heavens. See yourself as the newer child, a union of Father Sky and Mother Earth, in constant communication and communion with them and all their aspects around them. And remember that your teachers are all those who follow the law of the cosmos or the law of God. But they all have zero carbon footprint. And those who have zero carbon footprint, they live by the laws of God. They know God. They co-create with God. And they experience the peace that passeth all. And that peace is what is opening its door. You may open your eyes slowly as you feel that.
Darryl, thank you for this. Thank
And for allowing me to give you this message, my love and blessings with all.
Amazing. Wonderful teaching, wonderful meditation. Thank you so much. Darryl, will you share with us how to reach you? What is some contact information that we can reach out to you?
Yes, the easiest thing is go to the website by my name, darryldesouza.com, DARRYLDSOUZA.com.
Beautiful. Darryl, we so appreciate you being here with us today for our day of transformation. I have enjoyed this tremendously, and I know there were a lot of people watching who were getting a blessing. And I think some questions and comments that maybe you can go on and look at those. It was a real blessing, and we really appreciate you being here. So if
Thank
you
you,
want,
Chetty, and my deepest gratitude to Enlightened, network, and for having me here. And God bless all of you.
thank you. So those of you in the audience listening, thank you for joining us for this. We have a presentation coming up next by Susan Kennard, and that will happen at 20 after the hour. And thank you. Continue with us all day long. It's going to be a beautiful day here together. Bye, everybody. Bye, Darryl. Thank you so much for your service.
Bye bye. Namaste.